People don't suddenly stop respecting you. It happens slowly, quietly, one small behavior at a time. The scary part is, most people never notice it happening. They think respect disappears because of bad luck, toxic people, or society. But usually, people lose respect because their behavior unconsciously tells others. I don't value myself, and human psychology is brutally honest about that. The way you speak, the way you apologize, the way you react to pressure, the way you chase approval. People are constantly scanning these signals without realizing it. And once they mentally place you in the low value category, it becomes very hard to escape it. Because respect is not something people give you out of kindness, it's something they detect. And today, we're breaking down the hidden psychological habits that quietly destroy your respect without you noticing. The first habit is over-explaining. This is one of the biggest signs of hidden insecurity. Have you ever noticed how some people keep explaining themselves long after nobody asked? They justify every decision, every opinion, every boundary. It sounds harmless, but psychologically it sends a dangerous message. It tells people, I need your approval before I trust myself. And humans subconsciously lose respect for people who don't trust themselves. Confident people usually speak clearly and stop. Insecure people keep talking because silence makes them uncomfortable. But silence is powerful. Silence communicates emotional control. Over-explaining communicates anxiety, and the human brain is extremely sensitive to anxiety. This comes from evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, humans survived by identifying uncertainty inside social groups. Calm people felt safe. Reactive people felt dangerous or weak. That instinct still exists today. Which is why emotionally grounded people naturally command more respect. Not because they dominate conversations, but because they don't desperately try to control how everyone sees them. And social media made this problem even worse. Now people explain everything, their opinions, their lifestyle, their choices, their boundaries. But the more desperately you try to be understood, the less powerful you often appear. Because true confidence doesn't beg for permission, it simply exists. The second habit that destroys respect is approval addiction. This is where dopamine enters the picture. Most people think dopamine creates happiness. It doesn't. Dopamine creates craving. It pushes you to seek rewards. Attention, validation, likes, replies, acceptance. And when your emotional state depends on those things, you become psychologically controlled by other people. That's why some people instantly reply to messages even when they're busy. Why they say yes when they want to say no. Why they tolerate disrespect just to avoid conflict. Their brain becomes addicted to social approval, and addiction always lowers self-respect. Because your behavior starts saying, my value depends on how others react to me. Think about it carefully. People who desperately need validation are usually the easiest to manipulate. And humans naturally respect people who are emotionally independent. People who can tolerate disagreement, silence, rejection. Not because they're cold, but because they are internally stable. This is why boundaries matter so much. Every time you allow disrespect to avoid discomfort, you train people to value you less. Human behavior works through reinforcement. Behavior that gets rewarded gets repeated. If someone disrespects your time and you tolerate it, they repeat it. If someone crosses your boundaries and you laugh it off, they repeat it. Over time, people learn how to treat you based on what you allow. And many people unknowingly teach others to disrespect them, not through weakness, but through fear of rejection. The third habit is self-abandonment. This one is deeper than people realize. Many people slowly abandon their real personality just to fit in. They fake reactions, hide opinions, laugh at things they don't find funny, pretend to agree, pretend to be okay. At first, this feels socially safe, but internally, something dangerous happens. Your brain notices the betrayal. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. Your mind becomes stressed when your behavior contradicts your true feelings. So over time, you stop trusting yourself. And when you stop trusting yourself, other people feel it too. Because confidence is not just words. Confidence is behavioral consistency. It's the feeling that someone is comfortable being who they are. And ironically, people respect authenticity far more than perfection. Even flawed honesty feels more powerful than fake likability. This is also connected to neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself through repetition. Every time you silence yourself for approval, you strengthen insecurity. Every time you betray your real thoughts to avoid rejection, you weaken self-trust. But the opposite is also true. Every small act of honesty strengthens your identity. Every boundary strengthens your self-respect. Every moment of emotional control rewires your brain toward confidence. And slowly, people begin responding to you differently, not because you forced them to, but because your behavior changed. So here's a simple exercise you can start today. Before responding to anyone, pause for 3 seconds. Before replying, before apologizing, before explaining yourself, before saying yes, pause. Because that tiny pause interrupts emotional reactivity. It forces your brain to stop seeking automatic approval, and over time, you become calmer, more grounded, more intentional. That's how respect is built, not through pretending to be dominant, but through emotional control. At the end of the day, people treat you based on the signals you repeatedly send. If your behavior says, "I don't value myself," people will eventually believe it. But when you stop chasing validation, when you become comfortable with silence, when you protect your time, energy, and attention, something changes. You stop looking emotionally available to everyone. And strangely, that's when people begin respecting you more. Because respect is never demanded, it's detected.